Overwhelm can feel like swimming in the ocean with no land in sight. In today's video, I'm going to show you 9 quick ways to calm down when you feel overwhelmed by everyday life. Most of my clients feel overwhelmed before they start working with me. My client Maria, for example, would explain her overwhelm like this to me. I feel like an overstuffed suitcase, and I'm a chronic overpacker. Like my children can give you testimony for that when I go on holiday, so I can totally relate. Maria felt so nervous and uncertain about how she was going to get everything done that she needed to get done, that sometimes she didn't get anything done at all because she felt so overwhelmed that she felt frozen, or she started to do 10 things at once without finishing one or without being productive. My client Angela, a very amazing entrepreneur that really is very inspiring, she told me she constantly has deadlines looming over her head and always feels anxious on how she was going to meet them. She had that feeling that she'd spread herself too thin and said she tried to be everything to everyone. Do you relate to that? And Andy, one of my students, told me that she feels overwhelmed because she feels controlled by other factors. She feels controlled by other people. She feels controlled about her full-time job. She also has that side hustle of launching an online course, her partner, her children, and she feels that she was getting washed down by the river without any control, or she was in the spin cycle of her washing machine. That's how she described her overwhelm and anxiety to me. When people say that they feel overwhelmed, they'll often follow this by a sentence like, I'm drowning. That feeling of struggling to keep your head above the water, or about feeling trapped in all the things. We often feel that there's no time to catch our breath and have an abiding sense of fear that at any point our lives can become unraveled and we could fall apart. Like sitting on a cliff's edge or standing on a cliff's edge, and we could fall off by any moment, or we'll hang on by the thread. Let me quickly introduce myself before I get into the 9 things that might be helpful. My name is Susanne 𝐦𝐚𝐺𝐿. I'm a licensed therapist and coach, and I help ambitious women to get the life and business of their dreams, to stop overthinking and anxious thinking, to figure out what it is holding them back, and then to resolve these blocks with my unstoppable coaching and counseling methods. They're research-based, so that they can then do the stuff that they really, really love to do, like hanging out with their friends and going on retreat, which I'm going this weekend. I'm super excited about this. Taking a dog for an hour-long walk and sitting in the sun and reading a book without feeling stuck and not moving forward, actually with having everything done and under control. All right, so if you find yourself completely overwhelmed and in need of fast action ways to calm down from stress, don't worry. Here are some of my tips that might help you to get quickly and easily to that. So please subscribe, hit the bell, and so you don't miss any of my content that I put out every week. And you can also get a little present that I have. It's linked here. It's a little meditation. And I also send out a weekly email with tips and tricks that I don't talk about here. Stress comes in so many forms. If you're dealing with chronic stress, it's so important to implement some practices to manage stress over long term. Know that stress and overwhelm really damage your body and mind. This is serious. It's not just like, oh yeah, I feel so stressed. Stress actually really damages our body, and I'll talk a little bit about that after I give you the tips. Too much of any type of stress can feel overwhelming, and it can sneak up on us as well. So when you need to relax your mind and body immediately, let's start with this. All right, 1 is take a break. And I know it's so obvious, but it is. Take a walk, possibly get out in nature. Exercise can be a great stress reliever because it helps us blow off steam and releases endorphins. And even if you have just 5 or 10 minutes, moving your body for a bit is going to help so much. If you have more time and you can go outside, that's even better. Walking with a good friend can be a nice way to find that social support and to talk these things through that we feel overwhelmed with, and to get a little bit of a structure in. If you walk alone, it can give you that time to think about things, reframe, and then come back to the situation with some renewed optimism and maybe some fresh ideas. You could also listen to some music and dance your overwhelm out for a couple of songs. Give yourself some songs and just go like, whew. That will also help your cortisol level to balance out, gets you out of this fight or flight moment, that fight or flight when we can't think of anything else. Well, that will soothe our energy and really help you calm down in the moment. And when we calm down, our creativity can flow better. So taking a walk can bring you the benefits of exercise, but as a bonus, it gets you out of the stressful situation and gives you maybe the new perspective and the new ideas. The other one is breathe deeply. And I know it's a little bit of a joke when we come up as about breathe. So if you're not in a position to leave where you are, you can feel better right away by practicing breathing exercises, getting more oxygen into your body and into your brain, releasing physical tension. There are 2 ways that breathing exercises can benefit you. And you can do them anytime or anywhere, even if your demanding situation isn't letting up. So taking these deep breaths and then a little break, and then exhaling longer than you inhale. This really calms down your parasympathetic nervous system. Try closing your eyes, and even pressing your palms together in prayer position helps. Breathe deeply into your diaphragm, and even put your hands on your diaphragm to see if your belly moves, because that would be good. If your hands move when you breathe in, that would mean you're breathing deeper. And then you can visualize the outcome, picking one thing, stealing away a few minutes of peace, visualization, and guided meditation is there for you. It's linked there. That easily restores your mind. You can relax mentally and physically. With practice, you can access your happy place and quickly calm yourself down and feel less stress. And one of the cognitive behavioral therapy tools I use in coaching and counseling is reframing my situation, or reframing the overwhelm. Sometimes when we intensify our experience or stressful situation by the way we look at them. So if we can look at the situation differently, or we might be able to put it into a different perspective, we can change our thoughts on a situation, and that changes our feelings. Mental and emotional stress can be caused if we think in a different way and we self-sabotage our thought patterns when we feel overwhelmed. So reframing is something that I teach all my clients. It's kind of switching one thought into something that's more helpful. So the next step is to meditate in the morning. So you can have that gift from me and go on the link and download your meditation straight away. So if I start my morning with a meditation, that sets me up for a day that's way more calm and relaxed. It helps me to focus on what's going on, and it just lets everything run smoother. And it helps me to handle everything better in any situation. One thing is to smell something awesome like Aroma Therapy. It's another easy tool that you can use. There was a 2020 review in an international journal of cardiovascular science that looked at 5 different studies, actually found that aroma therapy, and especially lavender, was associated with decreased anxiety, depression, stress, and fatigue for patients with cardiovascular disease. So I have these aromatherapy rollers. I've got these blends, and I've got a Christmas one, but they have to be good quality and 100% essential oils, preferably organic. That's even better. So sniffing something amazing like that, this Christmas thing really helps me. And the other thing is writing it down. So you could benefit from journaling. There was lots of good reviews on how journal writing helps reduce our psychological distress. and we can write about what's causing our stress and get our emotions on a page. But also the writing down is like to plan these things, like it's not the endless to-do list. So write down what needs doing and use the Eisenhower Matrix, developed by former US President Eisenhower. The matrix is as simple as a 4-quadrant box that answers things like where you say this is urgent to important ones. In basic terms, we have urgent tasks that are the things you need to do and you need to do right away, like whatever, emails, phone calls, the things that you need to do for your business or for yourself. And while important tasks are the ones that contribute to your long-term mission, values, and goals. And so when looking at how to prioritize tasks best, ask which one of the quadrants they best fit. So you've got 4 of them, urgent and important. The other one you do as soon as possible. So you have like your sheet with the 4 things. The other one is important but not urgent. Decide when you'll do this and then schedule them in. The other one is urgent but not important. How about you delegate these ones to someone else? And then the other ones are neither urgent nor important. Drop these from your schedule as soon as possible. So one of the most difficult tasks here is to get the urgent but not important tasks of your priority list. And that is where delegation comes into play. So especially if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a professional woman, there's so many ways we can work on delegate. Delegation starts with finding the right person, explaining the task properly, but it also involves giving that person enough time and guidance to fully get the task off your plate, of your quadrant, and of your mind. And of course, there's the thing about drink some water. We have to look at our health when we feel overwhelmed, and water is your first port of call. Dehydration can make you feel tired and dizzy. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, try drinking a glass of water. And you can also brew a stress-relieving cup of tea, which can really give you a break. Stepping away from the stress and have some time to yourself. And of course, get a coach that will help you through what's going on, or enroll a friend. Get a professional. Don't do this on your own, because chronic overwhelm can lead to severe effects that are harmful to your body. And I was talking about this before, so there are 7 effects I'll talk about. Overwhelm can lead to anxiety, and anxiety can also lead to even more stress and depression. And 7 harmful effects to your body. We can have breathing problem, respiratory problems, gastrointestinal disorders, your immune system. So frequent stress hormones and coping with fight or flight response may not allow your body to return to its normal rested state, leaving your immune system vulnerable to illness and viral infections. And this is what we don't want. That's definitely not on the moment. Okay, so this is why we have to do everything we can to work on our stress and overwhelm. Number 4 would be heart disease. Heart palpitations and rapid breathing patterns are commonly experienced during bouts of overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. And the persistent rush of stress response hormone is persistent. So these might then cause high blood pressure and coronary problems such as heart disease or heart attack. And then we have muscle tension and chronic pain. Muscle tension, like I carry mine in my shoulders. Where's yours? So it signals the amygdala. This is in our brain to our central nervous system. And it says there's stress coming. We need like our muscles to contract. So we need to fight or flight or freeze. And then the constant muscle tension can lead to cramped, stiff or sore muscles and aches and pains that can tend to spread throughout the body. That may result in chronic pain, conditions such as joint pain, arthritis, fibromyalgia, and so on. And believe it or not, but overwhelm, stress, and anxiety can cause memory loss. And I can, like when I had my burnout phase, it was really true. At some stage, I couldn't remember my house number. So memory loss, if you're a constant worrier, you suffer from anxiety, it may also impact your short-term and your working memory. As a consequence, you may find yourself making frequent mistakes, forgetting important things, and that you are unable to cope with the schedule that overwhelms you already. So it's difficult to take important decisions as that when that happens, and to remember all the things. And that will make you more anxious. It also makes you more insecure about what's going on, and that will knock your self-esteem down. And then there's a vicious cycle. You might put on weight, or you might lose weight. You might start overeating when you feel overwhelmed, when you're stressed. There's all the coping mechanisms that our body is trying to regulate all the things that we throw at us. And there might be insomnia. Sleeping problems are so common with my clients that have anxiety, that feel overwhelmed and stressed. And the constant fear of letting oneself down can push a person into developing an anxiety disorder or depression. So, however, overwhelm can be overcome with professional support, love and family support, with meditation, and with many other techniques that I've hinted on, like CBT, coaching, and DBT. So speak to a professional if that is the problem and you're concerned. I hope this helps, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is Susanne McAllister. So I help you with all the overs: overthinking, overwhelm, overstressing, over anxious thoughts, overeating, all the things that we do that we want to stop. And then we want to have a loving and successful life, loving ourselves, loving our lives with time, and to enjoy our life. So this is it from me. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll see you next Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe, and also download your free meditation. Why not? Then you listen to me tomorrow morning. Thank you.